So what is up, you guys? Cousin Valley Central Railroad speaking. Well, one of my old Rivarossi engines was missing a part, and I made my own out of thin computer wire and thinned it out, and it was all copper, so I made the crossover for it. And this is my y6b articulated Penske steam engine. No, it's missing a few parts here and there, like a bell and other things. It is a Rivarossi engine, Pennsylvania, weathered. And the plan is to show you guys what I'm going to say, scrumptious trains. If you're listening, these are types of oil you want to use for your monorail. I know this is a Japanese oil, TSC oil. It's like made in Japan, like for Japanese locomotives or Kato engines. So, you know, need oil like this. Like Labelle oil, 104, spindle oil. You know, you need stuff like a 108, lubricant oil, you know, stuff like that. To work on parts and machinery. And there were several grades of oil, like the 101, which is another spindle oil for significant parts. There's the 107. The 102 is the grease, like gear oil. And that's a 102. And this is a 106, I believe, which is another grease. So it comes out in the squeegee oil. So basically how to lube up your locomotive and get it running good. So you want to basically have stuff like this to do repairs on and fix engines. This engine here has been on the road for a couple of years now. This is the second engine like this I have now. So basically the other engine was spare parts, so I took the motor out of it. And I'm trying to get other engines like this fixed. And I've done a few modifications to a Rivarossi locomotive. Excuse me, guys. So, been a very busy night getting ready for bed. So, this engine here is still a Rivarossi engine. I'm still trying to look for another version of this out there, so I did put a wire on this engine. And you want to have a good cradle like this so you can cradle your locomotive. So, in the old instruction book, it says what parts to lube your engines, like all the valve gear, like all here is, you need to lube that. Now this came from another articulated engine. Now when I got this engine, it was a 2, 6, or no, it was the back end. It was a 2, no, it was a 2, 8, 6, 2. So virtually it was missing the back set of drivers, so I virtually replaced that with another engine chassis I had left over. So the gears are on this engine are, the main gear is here and here. So you want to lube those up as much as you can. And all the power on this engine are the traction tires, like right here's a traction tire, right here is a traction tire. Don't know, on this side there's no flange on this, no blind drivers, what can take curves really good. And you'll see a lot of soldering here. I do have a wire that runs inside of the tender, so it gets a better connection when it runs. And you know, you basically want to clean your wheels and your parts on this engine here. And then this is another project I'm working on. I need to make a shaft between this car to this car here, this electric locomotive. So the plans are to try to get this running again. I think this is a Penline Rhode Island electric locomotive, because it says Rock Isle, Long Island electric locomotive. And this engine does have passengers inside the cars. So this not getting in power, but it's the truck connection I need to do. And I'm hoping in the near future I might electrify these pantographs. So stay tuned to someday down the road to see me do this electrification. I might have to get like a video tripod so it's setting up like this to show what I'm doing. So basically what I'm telling you is figuring out how to fix the engine. It does run smoothly. And right now I'm going to start lubing this engine. So basically the engine oil I'm going to use is a Labelle 108 for all the drive rods and the main gears on this engine, and then also on the inside. But also on the main gear, like the gear pieces that holds the engine up, I'll put some of this Labelle grease oil on it too. So this will help it run better also on the main gears under. So these little holes on the engine going in are actually for the main centric gear to the wheel. And then when you take the top off of this engine, I'll pause this in a minute and we'll show you what the engine looks like when the top is taken off. So here's the main part of the locomotive. So the inside here there is another gear right here. It will have to be lubed and cleaned, and another gear here will have to be lubed and worked on, and greased up and ready to go for the next road. And then the motor too. I usually put a little bit of electric contact oil in this motor. I don't really clean the motor as much. I might put a detailed co-load on it maybe someday in the future. And these little houses, the dog houses. So this engine here will be a neat place to, just mainly just lubing up the thing for the road again and making sure all the train parts move. And then same thing on rivarossi diesels and other steam engines that have the gearing system on the inside. If you're working on those, be careful, because the main eccentric valve gear and everything else, the way the bolts are connected, sometimes they will fall off, and it's hard to put these things back together if you take your time, and it takes a couple days to get them running good. So I just wanted to show you guys what it's going to be like for me to get these engines running good, and this engine runs just fine. It just needs another lubing and cleaning because it's been sitting on a shelf forever. So I bought this at a train show a couple years ago, so I hope I get this done. You guys have a nice night. We'll see you later. This is Geckozing Valley Central signing out. You guys have a nice night. Bye.